been a while since we set sail. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome back to the exciting and new podcast.
You know, I'm not one to say Happy New Year after like January 1st. But here we are on February.
We haven't seen each other since
February
the week before
4th.
Christmas, right? It was the week before Christmas.
It's February 4th and Happy New Year.
5th.
Is it February 5th? Oh my God. Look at that. The days are just clicking by. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Merry Christmas. We haven't podcasted since before Christmas?
No, and this won't come out probably midsummer.
St. Patrick's Day, but maybe Cinco de Mayo or 4th of July. Who knows?
That's funny, though. I think it's good. Like, we had a big snowstorm last week, and then it was 60 degrees this week at one point. We had all 4 seasons this week.
I think we had them on one day. Anything interesting happened to you guys since the last time we all talked? Nothing's changed in my life, Jason.
Started a new job on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brian, anything new with you?
I got something cut out of me.
What's that?
My prostate.
Do you have it here to show?
No, they took it.
They
Well,
couldn't
they
put it in a jar.
They had to hack it up and look for the tumors. And
He donated
everything.
it to science. Science
Fiction. And what's the prognosis?
Negative.
Prognosis negative.
I should hopefully be okay.
Hopefully.
When do you find out, like, because it's hopefully, so when do you ever get,
So
like,
May they'll do a
May
blood
the
test
4th?
to see, yes, to see if my PSA levels are at 0.
Our public service announcement is that Brian does not have
he has to
cancer.
make no public service announcements and he's good. Zero.
Jason, I would just like to go on record as saying that Jason and I would not be able to do this podcast without you. So your death,
I have to live.
your death would really be inconvenient to us.
If I could just say, it's been about 6 weeks since a podcast of ours dropped.
Oh, yeah.
So that shows you right there that without Brian, that's not happening.
Right.
Not yet alone us being able to record it. I mean, because I think we might figure that out because we did that one day.
But
You hit a couple buttons.
But I don't know where things plug in.
that, I mean, if it's already set up, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all color coded.
If Brian died right now, that would be
could just
beneficial
leave it
to
the way
us.
it is.
Don't touch anything. And I'll ask the cops later on. They're like, can we go
I was
do a
like,
podcast?
how do you get the next episode of the
Oh yeah, because once it's on the little box here, I don't know where it goes after that. So I wouldn't know how to get that off there.
Do we keep this plugged in here?
So if you want to listen to our podcast, you have to bring your headphones over and plug into our little thing over here.
No, we do it live. You had to just come down here and sit in the basement with us.
Broadcasting to 3 people. Oh, since the last time we talked, I'm going to bring it down. Brian's positive cancer diagnosis.
How
or
about you?
non-cancer.
What's new with you?
Well, Chucky passed away while we were gone. My dog, and I know he appeared on our podcast.
He's been on the podcast. R.I.P. to Chuck. He was a good guy.
I mean, it's
Chucky.
been almost 2 months now, so it doesn't hurt as much now as it did.
Yeah.
Oof, man, that was rough, though. Poor
Nah,
Chucky. He just got old, and he got old fast.
I'm not gonna lie. We were here every weekend. We saw how he got, like, and you could see how he seemed almost uncomfortable at times, like he wasn't comfortable in his body.
But Christmas Eve day, we had everybody over. My family, Michelle's family, and so that involves 2 other dogs coming too all day. And he was running around sniffing butts, all good. Christmas Day, we went to my sister's house, and my father-in-law called me while we were at my sister's house and said, something's wrong with this dog. He's acting weird. And then 2 days later, he was gone.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy? Boom. That's how I want to go.
It was weird coming in, and he didn't
no
come
Chucky
running up.
barking?
yeah, and he would come running to the door. Yeah, it was
And
definitely.
he should be down here. The AT-AT is
He
on
should be
his bed
clicking
now.
around.
You should leave the AT-AT in this
The
spot.
AT-AT is
Yeah.
on Chucky's bed now.
Nice.
All right.
This one's for you, Chuck.
We're here for Love Boat?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Let me read off the episode names here today. With
I was really hoping in this year we would do something other than Love Boat, but here we are doing Love Boat.
Well, we got to get through season 1.
Yeah, because
Close. We are close, right?
Yeah, we are close.
3
and
episodes
because
away.
we want to at least get to like the pictures in the
Listen,
circle.
we could do Love Boat for the rest of our lives. I'd like to do something that people want to listen to.
I have no problem doing another topic if you want to do something more topical.
I think we've talked about that every single podcast for the last 7 or 8 podcasts too.
But I'm down. Brian, are you down? I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm down for anything.
like, what did you want to do? Like, where we just like, hey, this week I watched this, or this week I heard this, or like that kind of thing?
We can do
Or
that.
so it's not like a specific thing. It's just like
Yep.
everything that's going on now. Like, yo, righteous gemstones, boom, boom, boom. You know, or
Topical.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
that's going to be our new podcast. We don't have a name for it yet, but it'll be coming soon.
Do we always talk about the podcast that was
What was it?
that
We can call it exciting and new.
exciting and new too? Excitingly.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, everybody's
No, let's do it. How about the search for Curly's gold?
It's got to be something better than that, right?
I was just trying to think of like other like cool.
The Love Boat 2, the New Wave podcast. It's not about Love Boat 2, the New Wave.
Yeah, we have to save the Love Boat New Wave podcast for when we do that one, because we have. I think that's a 25 or 26 episodes. But you have Robert Urich as your.
If I'm still alive when we're doing that, please kill me. Let's talk about this episode of Love Boat, though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still in 1978, I think, right?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was February 25th, 1978 for
We're
this
at the
episode.
beginning of 1978.
So almost where we're at this month.
Now.
We're 3 weeks off.
We're only 20 or 30, 34? 44. Fuck. 44 years behind.
Wow, that's crazy, right?
That's inconceivable. I was alive then. 44 years ago.
Yeah, and this was
That would make me have to be like 51 or
this
something.
was a
like
Saturday night, and you were just
that. 8 years old watching Love Boat.
you're about to be 8, right?
Yeah, I was 7 still. That's cool. I'm 7.
These stories, the name of these episode, 3 stories this week are A Selfless Love, The Nubile Nurse, and Parents Know Best. Do you know what nubile meant?
Yeah, well, I don't know what nubile means, but I was going to say I didn't pay attention to the titles at all. Like sometimes I do and get confused, but I know all those. I know them all.
That's a good one.
I know them all. Nubile is like
I want to say first
young
off too.
and flexible.
First off, I want to say I watched this episode.
Right? Yeah.
I want to say, was it 3 weeks ago we originally watched this episode now? So it's 3 weeks ago.
Oh, no, 4 weeks
4
ago.
weeks ago, and Andy had forgot to watch the episode. It was a Saturday. It was a Saturday.
He was in the fucking hospital or something like that. No way was it me.
3
Brian-
weeks ago, I was in the hospital.
Brian, the
4
first
weeks
week
ago, I
was
wasn't.
me and Brian had watched the episode, and we texted something, and you said you did not watch the episode. I forgot it was Saturday. Brian,
Well,
back
that
me
sounds-
up here.
That sounds like something I would say. I'm the reason we didn't podcast like 4 weeks ago. I'm the only one that's not like dying of something. Well, you're not dying either, right?
No,
Okay.
Brian.
Well, I'm one of two people that's not dying of
say
something.
one of us is dying.
And I'm quite sure I'm dying of something. It just has not been diagnosed yet.
It's in there. I mean, I got something going on too. It's brewing.
We all will die of something eventually. There will be a
Brian,
There will be
Brian,
a
can you please
died
confirm?
of next to us.
Yes, that is true. It's in the text string.
Really?
Yeah.
What? And we really were planning on podcasting. I said no.
Podcasting, because then I said something about Elaine Joyce, because when I made my first mention of Elaine Joyce, how hot I thought she was, and you were like, you said something like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then you were like, oh shit, it's Saturday. I didn't even know it was Saturday.
Oh, damn. I could have really used the podcast that day. That wasn't like the week Chucky died, was it? Because maybe not then.
I don't think it was.
No, that was Christmas week.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Nubile means sexually attractive, old enough for marriage.
old enough for marriage.
I thought that was interesting.
I'm so glad that has to be defined by a word that's not old enough for marriage.
And
We have to create a word for this so someone could say, is she nubile? Yes, she is. Okay, then let's go.
And Elaine Joyce definitely looks old enough to be
she was
married.
like 30 or something like that, right? Unless they were talking about the other girl that was the one
She
with
might
the
have been late
the Parents
20s,
Knows
early
Best one.
30s. Elaine Joyce is at least late 20s in this. She's supposed to be a nurse. She's the nubile nurse in this episode as well. Let me read the description. The description has the names in there. I'm just going to say their character name. I'm not going to say their real name, so I'll save it for our...
There's only 2
do the
people that I know
guess.
anyway, so go run through.
Young man Bruce's Mark Shea parents Monty Hall and Janice Page are determined to have him date other women on the cruise and not settle on marrying Ginger, in quotations, who is not on board.
Liar.
So Bruce and a fellow passenger, Laura Prange,
Whoa,
get
dude,
together.
what are you doing?
What?
That's the whole description of that one thing?
Yeah.
They don't usually seem to go.
That's what I'm saying. Look how long this one was.
It was not that complex a episode.
Damn.
And it was a man, Leslie Nielsen, is having second thoughts about age difference in marrying a woman, Linda Day George, who is 21 years younger. A new nurse. She's pretty nubile, too, in this episode, if I say so myself.
Oh, that's the Nubile Nurse.
Yeah, Elaine Joyce, on staff for the cruise, is a pretty ex showgirl. Of course, Doc, Bernie Capel, is hitting on her and is a bit frustrated when she does not return his advances.
Is that in the description?
Yep.
I thought we were the only ones that pointed out Bernie Capel's lechery.
We do love you, Bernie Capel, and we would love to
can't
have
be
you
a-
on the podcast.
That can't be original copy, though. That has to be.
Oh, no.
I don't think
That
that's
was
what
on
was on the. I don't think that was in the
ABC
TV
saying
guide. Yeah.
Yeah, this episode could have dealt with the first ever Love Boat flashback to Dawn being what was she, showgirl?
Las Vegas showgirl.
She was saying like she was naked and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
They
she was
should've-
definitely a
they should've
Vegas
played that.
showgirl. Yeah,
Back in the day, they were naked, right?
She said she was like, I went from
She
like,
might have- she
my
might have
birthday
been-
suit to my nurse suit or something like that.
she could have been with Elvis.
Elvis.
You know, Sally Struthers
Oh,
with Elvis.
that's what it was. I heard that recently.
How great was that? Man, that was
Sally
a great interview.
Struthers and Elvis were a thing for a
And
while.
she
too.
said it like she was like, she was like, Elvis was, yeah.
And she was in love with Elvis, yeah.
And she knew when it was it was over, and she was like, hey, nobody's keeping Elvis forever. And, you know, she was right. And it was her friend that ended up hooking up with Elvis right after her, remember?
But it was only like a year or so before he died anyway, so time to get out anyway. All right, Love Boat.
Okay.
Love Boat.
So I mentioned the date was February
Love Boat.
25th, 1978, and we had some guest stars this week.
Who won the Super Bowl right before that? Is that the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl, 1978?
I think it might be, yeah.
Oh, Brian's doing stuff.
So we have Linda Day George. She's playing.
Don't think your prostate's going to make me stop like bashing you
My lack of prostate.
or that.
Linda Day George. She's playing Laura Wakefield. She's in 3 episodes, 3 different characters. I have her here as Fantasy Island, 5 episodes. The 1977 movie Ants. I don't know if you remember that. It was a nice horror movie.
Which character are we talking about here? The one that Leslie Nielsen was with? That girl?
I think so.
There were a lot of like
She was in Mission Impossible.
that is her, yes. Okay.
How many episodes of Mission Impossible was Linda Day George in?
If I give the right answer,
Now,
I
the
might
last episode of this that's dropping tonight, or the one that was on the last one that aired, which was a while back, you had some really good guesses. You were off by like 2, and then like maybe by 5.
Well, honestly, if I get this right, I might have seen it when I was Wikipediaing her earlier. So I don't want to like. If I say 5, if you say,
You sound like
"Oh
King
my
Kong
God,
Bundy.
that's right,"
5.
if you say that's right, it might be because somehow that knowledge
seeped
seeped into
in,
my
yeah.
brain. I honestly don't know, but I'm gonna say 5 episodes of Mission Impossible. He's gonna say 130. I sound like a real asshole.
Brian.
I'm going to go 1.
Oh, 44.
Oh, so she was like a regular person for like a couple seasons.
that might have been all of them. I don't know.
It might-
I don't know if it was all of them. Though, yeah.
You know what? 130, 44. I'm an asshole. I said 5. That knowledge did not seep in anywhere. You know what?
You thought you were bad.
All
It's like,
that means
you're like, I read Wikipedia, and my
all
mind
that
picks
means
up
is
all kinds of
during
stuff.
the day, I saw a 5 at some point, and that just stuck in my head. 5?
Ooh, I'm so smart.
5? If I roll these dice right now, 5's going to come out.
Our next guest star this week is in 1 episode. This is his only character, obviously. Monty Hall playing Harry Morrison.
Let's make a deal.
Let's Make a Deal.
He was wearing
I don't have the exact
suit
amount.
at one time. It's going to come up with the collar and the
I think I remember that. I think I remember that.
What is this outfit?
He was in one episode of That 70s Show,
Oh, wow. Okay.
2 episodes of The Odd Couple.
The original one?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have the exact number of episodes, but how many episodes of Let's Make a Deal?
Christ. I don't even know how to intelligently answer this because it was on for
not counting the Wayne Brady new. Because that
was he on any of those episodes?
No, but I'm just saying that he might have done a cameo. I don't know. I don't know if it.
I mean, I can't tell you how many seasons it was on. 20, 30, 150. And was it
I
every
can tell
day?
you,
Did they do 200 a season or 50? I got an answer.
He died at the age of 96 in 2017. But Let's Make a Deal.
That helps.
How many episodes of
2017? That's my answer.
2017. Brian.
1.
Like I said, I don't have the exact number, but over 4,000 episodes.
Damn.
I was closer.
Yeah.
We should have did 2018.
4,000.
Over 4,000.
I bet if you
episodes.
multiplied how many days in a year minus weekends, say like 300?
You figure they're doing 5
weeks.
episodes a week too. They're doing through the holidays because they're recording him early. So maybe they take off a couple weeks because, they film 5 episodes in a day probably.
Yeah, but they only air one a day.
But that's what I'm saying. They have them all built up so they don't have to work so much.
But if you say 52 weeks in a year, fuck, I was going to do some math. Times 2, 104. So that's the weekend. So you get rid of those 104 and you subtract that from 365. That gives you. Really?
261?
Okay. 260, let's say.
No.
Let's not say 260.
No. Wait, what? 365 minus 104. Well, yeah, I was right. 261.
Okay, 261. So that's the weekdays in a year. And they're not going to air one every day. Let's make it 200 a year times.
I'm out on the math. I got lost.
How many years?
I got lost.
To get to 4,000 episodes?
Hell.
It's either
20
or 5,000. He worked for 5,000 years or 7. I'm not sure.
He walked through the desert.
I think he was 5,000 years as the host of Let's Make a Deal.
No, over 4,000 years as the host. We don't have the exact number. Our next guest is in 5 episodes, 5 different characters. She's playing Dawn Delaney, or as Andy likes to call her, and his nurse Dawn Delaney, Elaine Joyce.
What do I like to call her?
I was just pointing out that she was the nurse.
Oh, she was. And a really good one at that.
I thought so too. She's in her last role that she's done was Beverly Hills 90210. She was 4 episodes. She was Candace. I don't remember.
In the real Beverly, like the 90s version?
Yeah, she played a character, and she was in 4 episodes. She was in 2 episodes of the Hulk, Incredible Hulk.
The Bill Bixby?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ever in 1 episode of Chips. That's our show.
Yeah.
That show's so good, right?
Ponch and
I'm
John.
sure it's as good as Love Boat.
Oh, come on. Chris Pine's dad.
Chris Pine's dad?
Yeah. He plays the chief. Chief
Chris Pine's dad? His real dad? Yeah?
Yeah, his real dad. Robert Pine. Chief Gutierrez. He plays.
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
That was a very good Johnny Carson.
And that's you just do your Ed.
Yes, sir. I think I gotta work up into it.
You had to hear the ice clink too.
There's no ice left. I ate that too, along with all the bourbon that was in that glass.
4 episodes of Carol Burnett. She was a dancer for Jack Benny. She was in Music Man and West Side Story as bit characters.
West Side Story.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure when the last episode we did of this came out, but did we have a West Side Story person in that too? Gomez Adams was also on West Side Story.
Yes,
he was on some episode we did.
Yeah, I think
either last week or a year ago.
I think it might have been in between there, somewhere in between a week ago and a year ago. She's 76 now, Elaine Joyce in real life.
So is my mom.
I have her on here as like the game shows like we were talking about earlier. Match Game.
I think my mom might be 79.
Tattletales.
All those 70s game shows.
What was the other one I was thinking of? Match Game.
Password. Super
yeah.
Password.
That
Match Game.
Password hosted by Burt Convey. And she probably was even on, remember Burt Reynolds' Win, Lose, or Draw?
He was the host?
He was the host. I
don't remember that.
That was his, that was his like whole production. Like he had a game. It was a daytime. I remember Dom DeLuise was on there all the time. It was great. You could see those on YouTube. That's
Why
really
wasn't there a
one.
Norm Macdonald doing Burt Reynolds doing that show?
It would have been so good. Yeah.
I like to buy a vowel, Alex. Norm. Please come back.
In his second appearance, he's in 3 total appearances. I think we see him again in season 8.
Ooh.
Leslie Nielsen.
Second episode in the first season.
Yeah, he has 2 episodes this first season, and then I think his last episode is season 8.
Which would be after Airplane.
Yeah.
And maybe after Naked Gun even at that point. I would like to go on record as saying Leslie Nielsen made such an impression on me in the first episode that he did on the Love Boat. The first thing I noticed about Leslie Nielsen in this episode of Love Boat, pants were kind of like normal around his waist.
Remember, they were
not
really
all
high
the way up to the
that.
nipples.
That's
Like,
right.
as soon as I saw him, I'm like, hey, look, he's wearing regular pants. Because they were really high the last time.
So were you.
No, I wasn't, but I might be right now.
We talked a lot about him. So, I mean, I didn't put all the things in there again.
Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last time he was on, which was only a couple episodes ago, because that was the one with Ava Gabor, right?
Yeah, he
Yes.
cheated on his wife.
But he didn't, right?
But he got away with it. Yeah.
I have him here with, he has
was that what happened?
255 total acting credits I put down. We might not have talked about Poseidon Adventure, and he was in one episode.
Was he in Poseidon Adventure?
He was in one episode of MASH also in season 1.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember the episode he was in. I saw that, of course, after he was already Frank Drebin Police Squad.
All right, so you already knew who he was.
Do the game that you do with the phone.
What game was that again?
I don't know. With their top 5 things that they're in.
Oh, who? For Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah, see what it says. Because if it's not like Airplane and Naked Gun, maybe Forbidden Planet, then...
Do you think? I think Dracula Dead and Loving It's going to get in there.
No,
how about that being
good.
one of Mel Brooks' favorite, his funniest moments? Steven Weber and Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Not good movie.
How crazy was that, though?
Did he see Blazing Saddles? Or Young
Are you
Frankenstein?
Chandler Bing? Okay, ready?
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Okay.
Honestly, Leslie Nielsen was the only one in this cast they gave less than a shit about.
All right,
I
his
was like,
top
okay.
4. Do you want to guess him first?
Well, I mean, I already guessed.
I didn't hear you say-
Airplane, Naked
Airplane
Gun,
is
Forbidden
correct.
Planet.
Naked Gun is correct. Guess number 3.
Was it a sequel to either of those 2 movies?
Yes.
Airplane 2.
No.
Naked Gun 2.
Naked Gun
I think
2
it was
and a
Naked
half,
Gun
actually.
3.
It's actually
Oh,
Naked
yes,
Gun 2 and a
Smell
half.
of Fear.
Yes. And then it was Naked Gun 33 and a third, the final insult.
But I remember, was that the 4th one?
That was the third one.
No. I mean, was it the 4th one of the list?
No, that's
Airplane,
only 3. You got
Naked
Airplane,
Gun,
both the
Naked
first
Gun,
2 Naked Guns.
And the third one's not Airplane or
third one
Naked
is-
Gun?
The third one is the second
fourth,
Naked
sorry.
Gun. The fourth
This many
one.
fingers.
The 4th one is not an Airplane.
Or
2.
Naked Gun.
Or Naked Gun, no.
And is it Dracula Dead and Loving It?
No.
Is it one of those spoofy kind of movies?
It's a movie we just mentioned.
God damn it.
And you said he's in that? Ryan, he said he's in that.
Poseidon
Right?
Adventure.
Yes.
Poseidon Adventure. He's in that? I remember Gene Hackman's in it. And Shelley
That's
Winters.
got a great cast. Poseidon Adventure.
Here we go. The
Right.
rails have been jumped.
The top 4 of that are Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine,
Ernest
Shelley Winters,
I said
and Red
that.
Bottoms.
Red buttons, I think you mean.
Red Buttons.
But his red bottom, I'm sure he had a red
Edit
bottom.
that out because I know Red Buttons. I'm better than that. Let's see. Roddy McDowell,
Wow.
Shelley Winters, Jack Albertson. I was going to say a name, but nobody knew that name. I don't know.
I still haven't heard Leslie Nielsen. Or did you
Leslie
just pass by
Nielsen,
him?
Captain Harrison. right there.
I think the only person still living out of the entire cast is Gene Hackman.
Yeah, and I believe he's been out of the public eye for quite some time now.
I believe he just turned 90 the other day.
I think you're right. And Brian, do you like Gene Hackman?
I do. What do you think's wrong with him?
He's 90.
Ed Asner played till
But
it was like,
I think Gene Hackman made a conscious decision to say, I'm done.
yeah.
Like,
I don't
I
need to work anymore.
yeah.
Everything's paid for.
I got
Good,
the money,
yeah.
and why do I want to see people? Why do I want people to see me melt away on screen?
Although Emmett Walsh looks amazing.
At 99.
He's
And
not 99.
By amazing, you mean terrible. But it's great.
But I
that
mean,
he
he's
looks
still like
that.
he's able to act the way he's acting. Like,
I had that question. I was like, is he acting? Or is he playing an old man with
I hope
dementia
that he
walking
is,
around with the
because
shotgun?
If he is, and that's not fair. I mean,
No, obviously they
they
wouldn't do
couldn't
that to
do
someone.
that. Yeah.
I'm looking it up. I am.
Well, you're asking if he's like, is he like Tim Curry? They keep rolling him out for like meet and greets at like these.
He's
things
only
and-
86. God damn it. My dad's a year younger than him. My dad could get
Could your dad have done his role?
no. You know what? He could not have. He could not have he could have sat in the golf cart and talked, but he couldn't have walked up with someone with a shotgun and blown them away.
That was crazy. Spoiler alert for all you righteous gemstones fans.
Well,
out
by
there.
the time this comes out,
All
they'll be
are.
on season 7 already. Gemstone, so it doesn't
Which
really
they did
matter.
get picked up for season 3. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, that's good. I
That
like
show should be watched by everybody.
Oh,
Everybody.
I love it. That's the new
Game of Thrones.
No, the new one where everybody's like always Breaking Bad or The Wire or Sopranos. Like that's the new one now. Gemstones. You got to watch Gemstones. Also, Barry comes back this year, I think.
Very excited about that. Love
Yeah.
Barry. All right, where were we? Oh, Love Boat.
We just finished
cast.
off. We just finished with
How
Leslie
far are we
Nielsen
into this?
there.
A year and a half.
well, since I hit record, it's been an hour and 15 minutes, but I don't remember when we started.
Nor do I.
There was a lot before we started the Love Boat. Yeah. One episode for our next guest, Janice Page. She's playing Phyllis Morrison.
Which one's that? The old lady or the young lady?
She's famous for a lot of stuff from the
No,
40s.
no, no.
So
Oh.
probably the older lady then.
Is that Bruce's mom?
Or is that the one?
It's Bruce's mom.
I thought it
She
might
is
have,
still alive. She is 99 years old.
I thought it might have been the one that was flirting with Leslie Nielsen, the older lady that
Oh.
flirted with Leslie Nielsen.
What year was she born?
I don't know, but she was famous in the 40s for some.
Well, she could have been
movies and
famous in the
stuff.
40s. That lady would have been born in the 30s, probably.
I have her in
She's-
Santa Barbara. She was in 108 episodes.
Maybe it was the old lady with the Car
orange,
54 guy.
the orange lady. Her neck
I
got
don't
all
think the
banged
Car
up.
50.
Yes.
I don't think the lady with the Car 54 guy was on the main list.
Oh,
Which, by the way,
they were barely in the
I have
cast.
Joey Ross listed here because why was he not listed? How is that guy not famous at that time?
He even did his ooh ooh.
Yeah,
Because it was like a cameo.
but why not put him on it's guest starring? That should have been and a super guest star. You know?
Super guest star.
You know how they would do guest starring, but then they would do
Yeah.
special guest star at the end because it was like John Goodman because he was the big guest star or whatever, you know. And
I
not
get what
big,
you're saying.
Not big, but he's just a big.
Was he still
name.
big in the 70s though? 1978?
Who Goodman?
No.
His first big role was Revenge of the Nerds. He was the
coach, the
yeah.
football coach. Damn, we forgot to practice.
He said, "First we make steak."
I would pledge in front of my coach. No, not my coach. My father, my God, and my coach that I would go get revenge on those fucking nerds.
Make that the cut for the teaser, please. I want that.
I'm
as
not
the
even quite
teaser.
sure if that's exactly what he says.
don't even care
But I
if it
know
is.
that coach comes before father
quote-
and God.
I'm quoting. Was it Robert Carradine? I'm quoting. I'm going to add him, and I'm going to tag him. I'm going to tag Booger.
Curtis Armstrong.
I'm going to tag Lamar. I'll tag Buster.
Okay. Anthony Edwards, no, not him.
Ah, that's
Lewis
right.
and Gilbert.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, I just said
Carradine.
Carradine. Yeah. I forgot about Edwards, Anthony Edwards. Yeah.
Wasn't he going to be in the new Maverick movie? Oh, no, he
was
died
that
in the
Top
first
Gun?
one. Never mind.
I have no interest in that.
No. I don't think anybody does except Tom Cruise. Good for him, man. He's got the money. Fuck him. He can learn to fly a plane. And
Do you? I never saw the first one.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Me and you have never. We didn't see.
I saw Top Gun in the theater. God damn! I hope I said that the last time.
Did you masturbate?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Like in the movie theater during Top Gun?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you meant just now.
During the Love
I had
Boat.
my hands in my pocket.
Elaine Joyce did look good.
No, she wasn't that good looking. She's all right. Wow. Really? That good?
There's something about Elaine Joyce because she looks like she's also attainable. I love you, Elaine Joyce. Please come on our podcast.
Well, she's burned into your, ideal woman.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, you have those like that's the first older lady. You're like, damn.
She was the first one.
I
What were
don't
you
know.
watching? Password when you were 7?
I don't know if she was necessarily. I did watch a lot of game shows.
It wasn't
as a kid.
Carrie Fisher. It wasn't Aaron Gray. It wasn't.
I just said it. She may not have been the first one. She may have been second, third, maybe ninth.
It might have been Gordon Jump.
And speaking of Gordon Jump, my T-shirt today
Come
is
on.
sponsored by
Come on the show, Gordon Jump.
R.I.P. Gordon Jump and Howard Hessman.
Yeah,
Howard Hessman
was
has passed since we
Lost
last
Howie.
talked.
R.I.P. How. E.
No more Johnny Fever. Johnny
Yeah.
Fever.
And also, he was great in Police Academy 2.
God, he was great.
One of my favorite quotes
This
is so
fish is
stupid.
this fish is boiling. You want it stir fry?
He just says, he came in, he had like graffiti all over him, and,
Oh,
and he walked
yeah.
in and he looked at the everybody sitting down and he said, "Listen up, people. This is serious." Just in that voice of his, it's just like, he was great. And that was one of the guests I was hoping that Frank was going to be able to get.
Oh, yeah.
For,
Well, he was one of those guys that like who
he
knew
lived
he
in,
was
but he
sick,
also
like-
lived in London.
Oh,
Or
really?
something. Yeah,
Was he British?
he wasn't British, but he lived in London
Huh.
because I forget what I was watching. Somebody talked
Was
about
he
him.
married to a Brit, or
He might
he
have
just
been. Yeah,
felt like living there? He felt
I
like
think he liked it there. Maybe
he
or
felt
maybe
like
he had a
the
castle.
estate
He might
tax
have had like
was
a
something-
castle or something, like one of those.
You mean while the Rolling Stones and the Beatles are moving out of Britain?
I would
Howard
love.
Hessman
Wouldn't you love
was
to
in.
live in a castle? We could podcast in a castle.
God, you sound like my wife.
Look,
Did you see that It's Always Sunny episodes?
We'd be called. We could call our network Podcastle.
Is it a new one?
the new season.
I haven't
a
watched the
new
new
season.
season yet.
They're in an
I am-
Irish castle.
I'm like a couple episodes ahead of the podcast, which Jay just started video. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that. I don't watch
I'm
video
not going to watch it,
podcasts.
but I'm just saying they started video. But
I hate when people start talking about like, you see this, you see this. I'm like,
that's not fair.
I'm listening at work.
You should
no
know.
one's watching
They
this
should.
shit.
They should know that 98.9% of the people are listening to the podcast.
I'd say 99.8.
What did I say?
You said 98.9.
Did I? Maybe I meant 99.
I think you were dialing.
Tune in, Tokyo. So this lady that we were just talking about, she's at 108 out of the 2,137 episodes. I got her in 3 episodes of Fantasy Island.
Who are we talking about?
That Janice Page.
Which one?
We didn't know who she was. We
Oh,
think
she's
the older
she's
lady.
Bruce's mom.
Happy Days 1 episode.
Still
she played
alive.
Angela, season 8 episode of Happy Days.
Janice Page, you said, right?
Fonzie thinks she's his mom.
Oh,
So that's how old she was. If Fonzie thinks she could be his mom, she has to be that old.
And Fonzie was like 40, 45 in that, right?
Janice Page.
It's a season 8 episode of Happy
born
Days. So
September 6th, 1922. She is currently 99 years old. She is
September
Wayne
6th.
Gretzky. September 16th. She
September
was
6th.
5'5". I don't think she's probably 5'5". Anyway, she's probably 4'5" now.
you have a problem with people's heights on this show, too. Joanna Kearns, you had a real big problem with her height.
oh, I don't have
Remember
a
that?
problem with it. I'm just saying, like, she's.
But you said, there's no way she's that tall.
She was towering over that woman.
She was towering over that guy, too. Remember
Yeah.
the guy that
Or
she
the guy, right? The
The
guy from
bank
the jerk.
manager.
Yeah.
She was in 5 episodes of 8 is Enough and 3 episodes of All in the Family.
I just like to say Janice Page looking
you
at her
play guitar,
Wikipedia
you beat
page. real
Jimmy
quick,
Page.
she's been on stuff that predates World War II. Doesn't predate World War II. We were in World War II, 1944. So we were in World War II when she started
Janice
working.
Page, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said. She's famous in the 40s, yeah.
Yeah,
She had a
the
lot of
40s.
stuff in the 40s, yeah. But she was still doing stuff in the 70s and I guess 80s for like General Hospital and Santa Barbara.
The last thing I have on Wikipedia is Family Law in 2001.
Family Law. I think I remember that show. It wasn't one I watched, though. It was like one of those.
She was also on Caroline in the City. Is that the Brooke Shields show?
No, that was
Caroline Ray.
No, it was the girl from the wife or the girlfriend from Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, what's her name? Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson. Yeah.
Wow.
Why did it?
What was the Brooke Shields show?
Suddenly Susan.
Suddenly Susan. That must have been on.
Come on, give me that.
That must have been on between like The
Yeah.
Simpsons and Family Guy or something. They crammed reality in between my cartoons one night, and I was like,
Susan. I think I might have seen an episode here or there, but nothing that I can't remember the show. No.
I never got like Brooke Shields' appeal. Brooke, listen, I'm not saying you're ugly. You are not ugly, but I remember.
I don't know if she's on the Love Boat. She may appear.
She might be. I mean, she was getting fucked by Chet Atkins.
Allegedly.
Isn't
and Brooke Shields in 78. How old was she then? Probably 15. Was she even
Blue
15?
Lagoon?
Blue Lagoon, she was 15, right?
But she went to college in Princeton University.
Yes.
Right outside where I grew up. And so everybody cared about her. In the early 80s, everybody's like, see Brooke Shields?
Oh, she dated Michael Jackson.
What? Like, who's Brooke Shields? I'm like, I don't care about her. The girl with the jeans? I don't care.
I never thought she was that great. And again, I think she's nothing against her.
Nothing against her at all.
You know what I mean?
She was great when she dated Dr. Drake Ramore on Friends. But
that was a two-parter, too.
She was the one that thought she was really Dr. Drake Ramore.
A two-parter after the Super Bowl.
Oh, was that a Super Bowl one?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
You're welcome.
Fucking get out more, man.
Listen, we know our
I haven't left my house in 2 years. I'm telling you to get out more.
You have to admit, I've been coming over a lot more. How many times we say, let's go get a beer, let's hang out. I'm like, yeah. But this podcast started, how often do I get here? Every time Saturday.
We do it.
Who's the one that doesn't want to do it? You. Brian and I, we watch our episodes. We remember the days of the weeks.
You're not going to say he didn't want to fucking do it because he had cancer?
No.
For 3 weeks he didn't do it because he had cancer. Now he's over his cancer.
Let me tell you something. Our producer, Brian, never had cancer.
Fake news. He didn't actually.
You know what I was doing there, right?
No. What?
Seinfeld. Gary Vogel never had cancer. Yes. That's the one where George has a wig.
We should have done a Seinfeld podcast.
I would do a Seinfeld.
I'm not doing two.
I said I would, but I'm doing the Love Boat, and I got this other important podcast that's going to be very current.
Good call.
Very current.
Topical.
We're gonna be talking about shit that doesn't even come out yet. Do you think they're gonna show the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer after the final episode of Boba Fett?
I think Obi-Wan's gonna show up at the end of it.
Although he should be dead. I think we're gonna get a Mandalorian preview.
I think we already did.
So Brian did not hear that. Laura Prang is in one episode. She's Diane Lane or Ginger.
Gotcha. I have many opinions about her. The only one that matters is that she might be the worst actress I've ever seen. And I use air quotes that I hate to use. Act.
Especially since we're not on a video podcast.
I hate people that say, you're funny. You're angry. No, she was a terrible actress. She was god fucking awful. Every time she said something, I'm like, did they not say cut? Do it with emotion now?
They were like this. She read what was on the cue cards.
I was not surprised to find out that this was kind of the end of her career, and it had just started.
I had here she was in an episode of Beretta, an episode of Highway to Heaven, which is probably after this, and 3 episodes of The Incredible Hulk.
She's another one? Yeah. 3 episodes. That must mean she was like the Bruce Banner love interest or something like that.
I was going to say a little love triangle or something he was in. Probably.
I'm sure he got angry and turned into the Hulk because he was like, you're a terrible actor. Arr!
but nobody made him angry. So as long as
She made him
she
angry.
made him angry.
by her terrible acting. He's like, can you show some fucking emotion?
Up next,
Her eyes never. You can see the. Oh, by the way, oh shit.
here's how I know that it's the old lady that's married to Monty Hall, because Monty Hall is Harry Morrison and she's playing Phyllis Morrison. I just
Was that the one
noticed
we talked about?
Yeah,
The one
from the
99?
40s.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good.
And now, because then also we have Bruce Morrison, who's the son,
Right.
and that's Mark Shara. He's in 2 episodes, 2 different characters. He is not in much. I have him in 1 episode of 90210, and he was in
Really?
every.
He was
in,
probably like a teacher by then.
That's all spelling.
Yeah, oh, true.
He was in every episode of SWAT. Can you tell me how many episodes of SWAT there were?
26.
Was it called SWAT? Am I saying that right?
I have no idea. I've never even heard
Can
of this
somebody
show.
else say it?
SWAT.
Thank you. I didn't think
26 episodes, one
Yes, sir.
season.
I'm going to double that. I'm going to say 50.
48 or 50 episodes of SWAT.
37 episodes.
Damn, I think we might have exactly halved that.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this in the past because I thought about it when I saw it on this episode. When they introduce our crew and our purser, our captain, and they focus on him, and you can tell it like hangs on them like a second too
You
long.
said this before, right?
I said this too long.
Okay,
I said
all
this
right,
before.
all right.
Today I was focusing on Julie because she's the last one that comes out.
Also, we keep her up here. a
You
lot.
see her
Look
look
away.
to the side.
Yep, like-
You see her. I was
she's
like,
done?
she was probably like, how much longer do I have to hold this pose? And she looks. I was like, I never noticed that before, but it was like laser focused on her eyes. And she's like hanging there with that smile, like 1,
So we can see
2,
that now.
3,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
4, 5, and you see her eyes like dart off to the side because she's like, I can't hold this pose anymore. I was like, has that always happened? Has her eyes always shot away and I just didn't notice it? Or
No, yeah, I noticed that early on.
did you? Okay, so it happens every time. I was really focused on it because the only one that gives any kind of life to it is Isaac. He gives the finger bang, like he's like, hey now. Gopher
Yeah.
looks uncomfortable. Doc gives the fake heart attack, like whoop. But man,
And
Julie,
the captain's just like very stern.
but Julie always looks uncomfortable because it's like ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, and it fades out, and she's like,
Like, why wouldn't they just pause it on her? Like,
it should
at
be
a
all
point-
freeze
should just
frame.
pause-
It should be
yeah.
all freeze frame, but it's like she's like, you can tell she's bobbing, and she's like,
Like, hold it. They're probably like, hold it. Keep it going. Keep it going. We'll give you a little more.
Which
We got something for keep it going.
it's also
sweetie.
funny.
Keep
That's
it
the
going.
best take they got. They could only hold her for like 5 seconds. She's like, hold.
She starts biting her
How,
lip.
how much longer do I have to stand here?
She's grinding her teeth. Like, I apologize, Lauren. She's invited here. An invitation. I had one more guest star, but they didn't mention them in the opening credits.
Oh, another one.
Yeah.
Who else?
There's somebody pretty famous. He's playing Mr. Ross. That's also his real last name. He's only in 1 episode of The Love Boat. His name's Joe E. Ross.
Did we not talk about this already? I feel like we already talked about this. No?
We brought it up just as him being there, but we didn't talk about him actually being there.
I
okay.
didn't get to the guest stars because he wasn't in the list. Yeah.
Maybe we talked about this before.
We might have talked about it on the preamble. Yeah. Did you know he was in Skate Town, USA? Do you remember that movie?
I've never seen
Chachi
that.
was in that
Oh
movie.
my God, now I want to watch it. Michelle's
who else
watching
do
it right now.
I have Chachi in that movie here. I can't see the next name I have here. I have Flip Wilson in
Do
that
you need
movie.
more lighting? I can't give you any more light than you
It's
currently
because I wrote
have.
it too small. It looks like I have Swayze.
You need those dice
Billy
glasses.
Barty's in it. Billy Barty's in it.
Billy Barty and Chachi, and I'm not seeing this.
He's in Hong Kong Phooey. He plays Sergeant Flint.
That's right.
16 episodes. Car 54. How many episodes of Car 54 was he in?
Well, he wasn't one of the main guys. He wasn't.
He was a
Yeah, he was-
main character.
Him and Herman.
Yeah.
Was he? I thought Grandpa.
Grandpa and Herman didn't drive together, though.
They didn't drive together. Back then, shows went on for like 30 episodes. 97.
He's in every episode. I don't know if I told you that, but yeah, okay. 97.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to go 98.
He was in all episodes. He was in 60.
Damn.
60 episodes.
I thought it went farther than that.
I thought you were going to guess 54 because of the
Car
show.
54?
Yeah.
You would assume I was sober, too, and I would make that connection.
Also,
I would not.
Because he was the captain's dad. I have him in the Phil Silvers show. Can you tell me how many episodes? There was 143 episodes of the Phil Silvers show.
Wait, what?
That was Phil Silvers was
Oh, he was the captain's dad, and
dad,
Ross was also in the Phil Silvers show.
So yeah.
Ooh, sorry, dude.
So there was
I missed that whole I had no idea why we were talking about Phil Silvers all of a sudden.
I got a little lost.
I had no idea.
I think that one was on me, and I apologize. We'll hear that one on the playback. I think that might have been me.
I'm sure you were good. I just was like,
I don't know. I think I messed it up now that I'm thinking about it. But he was in, there's a total of 143 episodes of the Phil Silvers show.
And what he played Phil Silvers' father on the Phil Silvers show?
I don't know who he played, but he was in the Phil Silvers show.
How many Phil Silvers played Captain Stubing's father on an episode of The Love Boat.
But Joe E. Ross is in the Phil Silvers show.
Gotcha.
I don't know what
I
character
am all
he plays.
straight on the connections
There's
here.
143 total episodes of that Phil Silvers show. How many was Joe E. Ross? Do his
I want
catchphrase.
Brian to answer first.
I'm going to say 67.
I'm going over. I'm saying 66.
Nice.
That's under.
That's under.
68.
Now, here's where I was hoping you would have picked up on me saying Car 54 earlier.
Fuck.
He's in 54 episodes.
I should have gone under. All right, still been over, though.
You did go under. You said 66 and gave yourself. You had to be exactly on because he went 67.
I said I'm going
over.
I said I'm going over, and then I said 66. I went under, but then I changed it to 68 before you said your answer. So I was wrong.
I apologize.
Actually, I was
changed.
I guess I lost that.
Gummy?
I said 60. I think I'm good. I was actually just thinking that I have to go up and pee and get another beer, but
we could pause it because that's the end of our guest stars. So let's
we
pause
started our podcast now.
Yeah, we'll get into the episode after that.
Yeah, I'll play us out.
Brian, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling all right.
Are you feeling all right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna pee my pants. That's not a problem for you, right? Are you good?
No.
Play us out and cut that out.
Cut nothing.
Yeah, let me play us out.
Oh.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
I took my headphones off. Does that matter?
Oh, that's so good. That was fun.
That was good.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, ridiculous. I'm down with that.
Andy, we're going to take a look here. You mentioned earlier about Lauren Tew's eyes.
Play her eyes. Play. Watch her left eye for sure.
Brian comes around so he can see as well.
He knows. He said he saw it a couple episodes
Yeah,
ago.
I definitely.
I'm sorry, I thought we would watch it together as a family.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Brian, get in my lap. Here you go. Here you go.
Little
Grab your
lower?
head.
While you're down there.
While you're down there. Watch her left eye.
So we're looking here at this eye.
She's going to
her left eye.
She's going to look at someone over.
Her left eye.
Her right eye. Her right eye. Her right eye. My left side. Her right eye. Come on, man.
I know, but that was good.
No, it's not good. Watch it. Watch it. She looks up. You see that? She looks up.
She's like she's annoyed. She's like,
She's like, how long do I have to stand here and pose?
She's like, I could have a line already.
All right, so Jamie Farr's parents wrote this.
I always think that when I see those names, don't you? I always think of
only
Jamie
this
Farr.
is the first. This is the first time I noticed it. I was like, oh,
I
the
always
Farrs.
think that though. It's funny. We get Doc talking about a new movie.
What?
New Nurse. I was joking.
Yeah, you were joking.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, so now we got to talk about this episode? Is that how we do this?
Oh, he said something about the new nurse makes Raquel Welch look like Don Knotts.
He didn't say that. I heard Don Knotts today.
He said,
oh, that's right. You didn't see this in a while.
It's been 3 weeks since I watched this. I think I mentioned that earlier. He mentions that the new nurse is an ex Las Vegas showgirl.
Yeah. And
And,
somehow she's now in.
Captain has the hiccups to start the episode.
He comes walking up the stairs hiccuping.
They tell him to hold his breath.
That's Doc's medical advice. He's like, hold your breath.
Isaac says something here. He says, I used to think sunsets were perfect, but dawn is something else.
Well, we haven't met Dawn yet. She hasn't walked up the stairs.
I know,
yet.
But I just wanted to get that.
Your notes are ahead of
the game. Now I can watch a little bit of the show.
How do we do this again? Do we just talk over
there
this?
She is, Elaine Joyce, looking beautiful. I know I mentioned it once, maybe twice. Elaine Joyce has something, and Brian's going to back me up here because
I will.
Elaine Joyce is an 8. An 8 on this boat, Andy.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to say she's on an 8.
And I say on this boat, meaning the entire 10 seasons.
Oh,
because
we've had fucking on.
She's an 8.
She's
not
the top
8.
20% of all the women that have been on the show.
Yes.
With Connie being a 10.
Connie is in the top. Yeah. Ooh, what was she, Brian?
She was a see you next Tuesday.
I don't think this girl's all that attractive. I mean, she's fine. There's nothing special about her, though. All right, so Doc is making the moves.
Boba's going to make a move.
He introduces Isaac and Gopher as his buddies. These are my buddies, Isaac and Gopher.
Yeah, it was.
This so he said that. These are my buddies. I'm like, buddies, huh?
A little strange. And here we have.
He probably said friends.
Here we have Monty Hall
buddies.
coming in with Phyllis
with a jacket that looks like he would wear that on Let's Make a Deal.
Oh yeah, and Let's Make a Deal always had like that, like a fogginess to it. Like it was like it was just like a haze over it. Every time I watched it, it just seems really like old. It has the old look to it. You know
I remember watching that even as a teenager, like. And he was white by then, like white hair.
Yeah,
like he went all white, like Bob Barker.
Yeah, in the later stage. Yep.
He was still hosting Let's Make a Deal, and it was the dumbest fucking show that's ever been put on TV because everybody started dressing up in the crowd. Everybody wore a costume.
Yeah, and then there was people all the way in the back that weren't even going to get picked,
but they were still wearing costumes.
And then how about when they were like at the very end, they're like, "You got to show me some chapstick. I'll give you $100 if you got chapstick in your pocket."
Right. In the credits, like you have to pull stuff out.
You over there with the sailor cap on, show me a fork. If you got a fork, I got $200 for you. If you got a fork. That was my favorite part of it.
I saw a
because he played it, and as the credits were rolling, and the game and it
was
ended,
still going.
He was still
the game
doing
was still
it.
going on. But I saw one of those things that proves how much smarter people are than I am. But when you have the 3 doors and you pick a door, and then they give you 2 more doors, and they take 1 door away. And then they say, "Do you want to keep your door?
Oh yeah,
or
Price is Right.
Take the other door." Well, let's like the deal.
Yeah.
Like, and you've already picked a door, and then they eliminate a door, and then they give you the other door, and they say, "Do you want to change
this box?
Do you want to change?" The smart money is to change, and it was a whole thing where no, it's not. Now your percentages are 33. You had 66. Now you're 33. But mathematically, you're supposed to change. I don't know why you're supposed to change. I don't know why you're supposed to change, but if you have a 1 of 3 and you pick, and then they eliminate one of the other 2, and then you're left with your original pick and
take the other one.
Take the other one. And I'm not sure why. I guess what they're saying is,
gut instinct. That's your gut instinct. That's the thing you're going to go over in your head. You're not going to think that way. Like
I guess what they're saying is that like you had 2 options over here. We took one away. Obviously, we didn't take away the prize.
Yeah,
we didn't take away the prize.
You either picked
so we took away a dud, and now
you know why? You know why it's probably best to take it because you're picking your first picks out of 3, and now it's down to 2,
and it's out of 2, and they eliminated one of them.
Yeah,
that's what it is. But
it still
doesn't make sense.
It's still scary to take that other one. I think I would stick with my gut instinct, Brian.
See, I don't know because you'd have to watch them and see if all the duds are people who kept their original thing.
I guess it would matter on what previously had happened.
And Andy's ending up with a donkey zonk.
I am always going to end up with donkey. I remember hang on, hold. There you go. when that stupid Princess of England show started, Deal or No Deal, and
remember that? No.
No,
Deal or No Deal was Howie Mandel.
But Meghan Markle was on the show. She was one of the.
Oh wait, I thought you were
ladies.
trying to do the one. What was the?
Oh
one
no, I'm being a dick.
What's the one with the British lady though? And she asked the questions and
Weakest
goodbye,
link.
weakest link. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I hated that show.
That's
I
what,
hated
that's
her.
what, that's what I thought you were doing. Yeah.
No, I was saying Meghan Markle was the princess of.
Now I
England,
get why you
and
said deal or no deal.
It was stupid.
It went over my head. I missed that one.
No,
I'm
it was
sorry.
dumb. But I remember when that first came on, Michelle and I would each write down. Not write down, but
No, you would say I would always.
I'm picking 14.
Not
She's
gonna lie,
like,
I would say
12.
2, box 2.
And we make sure we were like keeping our eye on that. And I was always convinced I was winning, and I never won.
And then that was such a that's the kind of show where you just your nerves are just,
And that's a hard show to like say you didn't win because like, well, I would have picked a different number. I would never pick 13. I would never pick 7. I would never pick 21.
I would want to play that game. I would be so annoyed. I'd be like, Howie, just open the goddamn box. I am not waiting.
I'd be like, listen, I am keeping this suitcase. I'm keeping it. No matter what you do,
Just go in
keeping it.
order.
Just
Go
start
in
at the
order.
top. Start at the top. Do your 5. Do your 4. I'm keeping it. Oh, $1 billion. Nope, keeping it.
Your odds. Then you're like, got to change in that.
We missed the whole throw. This show's been going on.
Oh, we're at the Bon Voyage scene. We're down here.
And look, our nurse is throwing them, and Doc comes out like to be like, "What are you
gave
doing?"
her a look.
He said, "What are you doing?"
We also
Doc was very
had some
confusing on
cabins.
this.
The Harrisons were staying in cabins 342 and 344 on the promenade deck. Diane, who is also Ginger, is in the Fiesta cabin 135, and she's taken.
My biggest question of the entire episode, if you want to spoil it right now, I have
Spoil it. We can still also have more.
Leslie
talks
Nielsen
about
and
Captain
his fiance were staying in separate cabins.
That I thought was weird,
He said
too.
goodnight to her, and he's like, "I'm going to my cabin," and he left.
Like, why wouldn't he? Even if he didn't want to have sex with her, why wouldn't he just sleep in the same bed? Were they not?
Why am I paying for 2 cabins for 2 people?
I thought that was really
sleep on
weird.
the floor before I play for a second.
We've had people.
cabin.
We've had strangers share cabins.
That's right. We have.
And they were
Is it the whole hang? They weren't married, so
we
they
had
couldn't
John
be.
Ritter as a woman sharing a cabin.
They weren't married, so they couldn't be. They couldn't possibly be staying.
But
in
he
the same.
was married at one time, right? Wasn't this his second marriage?
Did they ever say that? I guess they might
I don't
have.
remember now. I thought maybe he had an ex-wife.
I mean, he was very big into having kids by the end of this episode with whoever he ends up. Spoiler alert! Sorry, because there might be someone else.
There could be cougar. What'd you call it? No, what? I guess.
No, she was not.
She was
cougaring.
She was pretty hot, though.
Was she
for an
really?
older one.
She
thought
wasn't
so.
cougaring for me.
This
You know,
guy,
nothing depressed me more watching this episode than when Leslie Nielsen was saying, like, I'm so old and she's so young, and in 20 years I'm going to be 70. I'm like, fuck you, man. 20 years you're going to be 70. In 20 years I'm going to be 70 fucking 1. So I don't want to hear how old you feel at 50 fucking years old, Leslie Nielsen. Oh God!
how depressing was Leslie Nielsen in this
Every
episode?
time he said it, I'm like, listen, you might look 60. You're not 50.
With his white hair, yeah.
Yeah, you're not 50. And so don't be fucking telling me how awful you'll feel in 20 years at 70. Because he did it at least twice. Oh, my God. You don't know. In 20 years, you'll only be 49 and I'll be 70.
Real quick.
Brian, I'm going to be awful at 70.
I'm looking at my notes
I'm
here.
gonna be terrible.
Please wheel me
if
around.
I get there.
Please wheel me around.
It's one of the
Brian and I are going to get tandem wheelchairs. You'll find us on the Fremont Street in Vegas.
One of the parts that we missed here was Gary Foster.
Which one's he? Is he the young guy hitting on
plays
Leslie
Shet.
Nielsen's? He's hitting on
Is that whatever his name was?
Gary's hitting on Leslie Nielsen's young girlfriend.
Yes. He was on Days of Our Lives, 4 episodes, 3 episodes of The Love Boat he's in. This is another guy that wasn't in the opening credits, but I didn't put him in until
He was
later.
kind of not important.
He was Jason of Star Command. He's in.
Is that a show?
He's
Jason
in all
of Star
28
Command?
episodes of that with Sid Haig.
Jason of
Sid Haig.
Star Command? Should I know
Jason,
that?
I don't know. It just seemed
I
like
don't know
something.
that one.
But Sid Haig was in it also.
All those
so I thought that
words
was
sound like they
interesting.
should be something. Jason of Argonaut, Jason and the Argonauts, and Star Command.
He played Tex.
Buzz Lightyear, Star Command.
He was uncredited. He played Tex in Blazing Saddles, and he was uncredited.
Which one was Tex?
I know. And he was uncredited, and he played in Rosemary's Baby. He was also in Rosemary's Baby.
Was he the baby?
I don't think he was the baby.
He wasn't Rosemary. Maybe he was the devil.
This is where she wanted to throw confetti, and he wanted to take a nap. Then I had Mike Adams, Marla Adams is playing Glenda Fairbanks. I have her from some episode. This is the lady that was hitting on Drebin.
Okay.
She was in.
Hit the Drebin.
She was in Young and the Restless 203 of the 12,528 episodes.
Now that one you don't ask us?
That one I couldn't because there's no way we're gonna get that.
12,000 episodes. That's every day for like a million years.
This one's even better. She was in Days of Our Lives 50 out of 14,354 episodes.
Who has time for 14,000 episodes? If you
I'm
tell
going
me,
to start a rewatch.
if you ask me to watch a show, and it's not 8 episodes or less, I'm out. I'm not watching that.
Is it on Hulu?
Is it with commercials too?
I
Fuck you, commercials.
I have the commercial-free Hulu if you need it.
My
She was
Hulu's
also
free
Andy.
to my
She was
phone.
also in one episode of Happy Days,
Okay.
a late episode, season 10, and
One of the 27 million episodes of Happy Days.
one of the episodes when it was Ted McGinley and
when Fonzie was dating the girl
Fonzie,
whose
the girl,
daughter was
died from
Poltergeist.
yeah. And she was also in 2 episodes, 2 different characters of
Fancy Island.
The Love Boat.
Oh, it's The Love Boat. I forgot what podcast we were doing. I have to switch over from the Fantasy Island podcast we were doing before. Sorry.
The weird thing is he's doing a new Fantasy Island. That's the one he's watching.
Have you watched any episodes of that?
I won't
The
watch
first
it.
30 seconds of the first one was dreadful.
When I saw the logo, the one letter was upside down. I said
Oh,
no.
I don't remember that.
They do the I think it was the A, and they flip it. And it goes like-
Listen, if you don't have a dwarf saying, "Where's the plane? Where's the plane?" or "What's the plane?"
Are you allowed to say that?
Plane.
The plane.
The
it was
plane,
like,
the plane.
The plane.
But are you allowed to say
Boss, the
I'm gonna say
plane, the plane.
Oh, dwarf.
that? Yeah, is that okay?
Can I say that? No,
Dwarf's okay. I
That's not
think.
good?
Little person, I think, is the perfect.
That's what I
Oh,
thought that
okay.
we were supposed to say. Yeah, little person.
Yeah.
But see, I think little person sounds more
demeaning.
demeaning than.
I don't know. I don't have any. Well, listen, I'm going to say I don't have a problem with dwarf, but I'm not one, so maybe they do.
Yeah.
What about like Gimli in Lord of the Rings?
Those are dwarfs.
Did you
Is
see
that
the,
different than dwarfs?
That's dwarf as a race, not dwarf as a
did you see the
medical condition.
posters? For,
But if I was a dwarf in real life, I'd be like, yeah, just like fucking Gimli.
did you see the posters for Rings of Power?
What's that?
That's the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, the Amazon.
Oh, have they finally decided to advertise that thing?
Yeah, there's like
I've been hearing people
there's
talk
like
about that
there's
from
like
2 jobs ago. That's
There's-
7 years ago.
There's a teaser out right now too. That's shows just but it's all. Then there's the 17 posters that just came out, but it just shows all the 17 different characters, but it shows their hands. That's it.
With the ring on it.
Yeah,
The ring. Wait, but
these are the Rings of Power.
I thought there were 11 rings of power.
9 for man, 5 for dwarves.
And it burns,
Three
burns,
for
burns. The Rings of Power.
I gotta tell you, did you watch Eyes of the World yet?
The
Or
Rings of
Wheel of Time?
Power.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I thought
I
you,
liked it.
I thought you said you weren't going to watch
it.
Wheel of
Warmed
Time.
up on me.
I watched the first 3 episodes. And I was like, this is garbage.
I thought it got better and better.
Shout out to my cousin Sal. He watched it and he said he finished it and he said it was not what he wanted. There was so much hype to it. It did not. live
I
up
thought
to
it was. I have
I wouldn't
definitely
give it-
strong opinions about why I did not like it.
I didn't think it was great, but it interests me enough to watch it to the end.
Really, it felt cheap to me. Like
Yeah, it definitely felt cheap.
every scene had like
Funny-
3 people in it.
Funny
I'm
you
like,
say
oh
that.
my God,
Sal
like-
said it was like a CW budget.
Yeah.
It felt-
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
totally.
it definitely
Yeah.
had
I
that
agree
feel
with
to
that.
it.
Yeah. I mean, there
The
was
acting
nothing
wasn't
about it.
great.
Everybody sucked in that. There was one girl that was famous, and I don't remember now who she was, but
Whatchamacallit.
Yeah, the girl from the thing that you saw back in the day.
She was with that guy.
Yeah, her.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one
yeah.
with the girl
That
or the
one,
guy.
The hair was like
She had the black
it
or
was
brown
flowing,
or blonde
yeah.
hair. Yeah.
I remembered her name like 10 seconds ago, so you started saying that.
we messed him up. He knew it till we started saying.
Yeah, it was not good. And I really was having high hopes for that. And I kept trying to like it. I'm like, give me another reason to like this show.
I was one and done. One and done because I watched the first one and I was like, eh. And then he said he watched the first 3, didn't like it. Sal said he watched the first few and it was like, and I was like, these guys are not making me want to watch this.
No,
and I was I'll go watch Succession. And I enjoyed Succession. 3 seasons of that. I know you guys didn't watch that yet, but I hope.
I've not. Who's that? Brian Cox, right?
Brian
He's the main
Cox,
guy?
the Culkin kid.
Kieran.
Yeah.
Kieran. I like him.
The
Save him.
what was
I
Ferris?
was going to say Save Pilgrim.
What's Ferris's brother?
It's Ferris.
Or not brother, his friend.
Cameron?
Cameron, he's in it.
Oh, well, he's got to be an adult.
He's an adult in it, yeah.
Is he adulting now?
He's an adult. Then you got
He's adult in that Michael J. Fox show.
Eric
Spin
Bogosian.
City, yep.
Eric Bogosian's in it.
Eric Bogosian. Name sounds familiar.
Talk radio.
With Phil Hartman and
No, that was news radio.
No, talk radio.
It was a movie. It was like a thriller.
I don't remember
Michael Jackson?
Mm.
Can I just say that now this beer is gone and this bourbon's halfway gone? We already started this stupid episode.
And I ate another half. So we're doing good. Monty Hall says, let's make a deal.
I got a full house.
He does have
or
he does have
something?
cards. He's like, you want this third card? Or the fourth card? All right, I'm gonna. We just did the Bon Voyage scene, so this means we're over here. Yeah,
Get on the mic.
cards.
I wasn't
Playing
hearing
cards.
you.
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
All
I
right.
thought I had a check.
The producer should have said something. I could see he was.
I was
zonked out.
watching the levels.
Yeah. The levels were 0.
He's like, I was watching.
They weren't good.
He's like, I was watching the time not move. Does that mean we're recording?
Red light's on.
Why is the light not over there?
I would have to plug it into this, and I don't want to drain power from that.
There's a wall plug right there,
Oh.
and right there, and right there.
All right.
You don't have to do that.
Here we have Monty Hall playing cards, and they're hoping that their son finds somebody else here. And they said something about child bride here, which I thought was weird. Do you know what that means?
Child bride
Yeah.
under 17.
It just says very young bride. Like that's the definition. I looked it up. Like why is that a thing? Like,
Because probably people got married before
but
they were 17.
don't you have to be 18 or?
If your
Yeah,
parents make a deal.
Only in the last 60 years.
Although Ted Nugent did get that family to sign off. Like I think he married that 14-year-old or 15-year-old or something.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Ted Nugent?
but the parents signed off.
Was that cat scratch fever?
Yeah. She was
Interesting.
stranglehold.
Wait, so he had the parents of this kid agree to let him marry?
Yeah, I don't know if they gave up like I guess they let her be emancipated or if he became like the
Really?
guardian or I don't know. There's something. Google it. Look it up.
I don't think I want it now. I don't want to have that search history. Ted Nugent.
Do it on
underage
DuckDuckGo.
bride.
That's what I use.
Um,
DuckDuckGo. They meet Donna Ginger here, but they don't know that we already spoiled it. That she's actually his girlfriend.
Can we not talk about this episode? This
Yeah.
episode was terrible.
Do you want to go?
Can we spoil it?
Do you want to go to the end?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's
Leslie
do it.
Nielsen.
Wait, we'll do each storyline.
Okay. Leslie Nielsen and the 30-year younger than him bride.
That storyline was called A Selfless Love.
Selfless love. Was he about to commit suicide or go to battle? So he's 50. He's an old motherfucker at 50.
Everything seems to be going where
And she's, I guess, 29.
Leslie Nielsen thinks that she wants to do everything and he doesn't want to do everything. She thinks that he's not into her because it's a
And
miss.
every time they show her I'm not going to say she's smoking hot, but she is definitely better than what Leslie Nielsen at 50 should be getting. Every time they show her and she's like dancing with the guy her age and whatever, she's looking for him, looking. Where's Leslie Nielsen?
She was looking for love in all the wrong place.
So she's into him, and he doesn't want to accept the fact that she's into him. And that's the whole episode. And guess what? At the end, they get married, and it's all good. Oh, and we didn't point out the fact that he's friends with Captain Steubing, and he's supposed to be the best man at the wedding.
Yes, and actually...
Do you remember that? Sorry.
Yeah, actually,
I watched
didn't
it a couple
Steubing
hours.
say something about he wanted to do it? Didn't he?
No, they were going to Cabo to get they had a Justice of the Peace lined up in Cabo to get married.
Yes.
And
Sorry.
then at the end, they go off and just get married because
yeah,
they do actually love each other, and age doesn't
And then-
matter.
but they don't-
And when
they still don't show them
she's 70,
consummate.
when he's 70, she'll be 49, and when he's 90, she'll be 69.
Which, I'm just now thinking
And
about it. Last time we saw Leslie
Keep
Nielsen,
doing that, and when you're 129, I'll be 80 or whatever.
last
the fuck
time we
the
saw
math is.
Leslie Nielsen, though, he was a horn dog. Remember?
He was, and his pants were at least a foot higher.
So this was the complete opposite for him. He was like he had low testosterone.
But the whole thing was so stupid. And then they went back to at one point they're kissing in one of their rooms, her room, I guess. And he's like, I'm going to go back to my
Good
room
night.
now. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go back to my room.
He went like this. He said, I just want
Terrible,
he went
terrible.
but they were kissing. They stopped. He said, I just want to let you know I'm counting on you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So that was garbage. Monty Hall's son
The girls
hooks
pretending
up
to be
with the
somebody
girl,
else.
and it's actually his
Then they get into a little.
fiance.
They get into a little like fight.
Over
And then they realize
nothing.
that. Then they're like the parents are wondering why they were so upset that they're not into each other now. or
And then
something like that.
it's not Dawn or not Dawn. Dawn's a nurse.
Ginger.
Her name's Ginger. It's really his girlfriend, fiance. They get married.
I seem
Everybody's-
to have lost my fiance.
And Monty Hall says at the end, he's like, I lost my something, but I gained a daughter. I'm like, oh God
Yeah, that
damn.
I do
Oh,
remember something
God
along
damn.
that lines. That sounds like something Monty
The-
Hall would
the
say.
wife said I gained 4 pounds.
You're right. Yes. I gained 4 pounds and I gained a daughter. And everybody's happy. And she is a fucking dreadful actress, that woman. I mean, really. Whoever told her. And listen, I'm a gargoyle. She's not that hot that they should be saying, you have to be getting in front of a camera right now with your zero skills as an actress. There were a billion girls that looked better than her that they should have said that to. And I don't know why she's in this. Or 3 episodes in The Incredible Hulk or Fall Guy or whatever the fuck she's in. But no.
And
She's
then
not that good looking that she deserves to be in this show or anything else after this.
And then we have your
Sorry.
We have Doc being
Sorry.
we have Doc being really
Oh yeah, and then the third episode is Doc with the nurse,
but Doc being like so jealous
and
of
being
anything.
a complete asshole too at the end when he's like,
Almost being like,
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
nurse, like
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like.
listen,
And he hired her, and then he immediately was expecting sex.
he
from
hired her to bang her,
Yeah, he
and then he's like, oh, you're actually a nurse,
100%.
Oh, sorry, because I
And-
thought you were here for anal, and now you want to actually
and
heal
she
people.
she seemed like she was ready to be like even more than a nurse. Like she
And by the end, she's going to med school to
Yeah.
become a doctor, but she wants to be something. Doc has hired her as a nurse just to fuck her because he says to Gopher and Isaac, look at this. I'm going to fuck her. And then I don't care. She gave everybody
and
chlamydia.
he kept trying too. He was dancing with her.
Yep.
Remember,
And he
was
stuck his
kissing
hand up her
yeah.
dress and
Yeah,
he said,
he
you're
finger
moist.
banged her. It was insane.
He didn't do that, but he should have. He might as well have
Russ,
done that.
he might pork her, Russ.
I'm sure he did.
I don't know if he did. I think she might have kept him away.
It might have been
her.
rape.
They were making out
Look,
towards the end there.
And in my heart, Elaine Joyce saved herself for me.
Well, she's like 73.
76. now, yeah.
76, sorry.
I know she used to date.
That's
or-
what Jason gets about
I know
these
she was
days,
married
76-year-olds.
to. She was married to a dancer, Bobby Van. He died young though in the
And
80s.
she was also married to Neil Simon, who died. She was a Black Widow. She was married twice, and both of those guys died while she was married to them.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. So, Brian, don't marry her.
I-
Jason,
Married.
it's all yours, dude.
Elaine Joyce.
Brian's dying tomorrow anyway.
Elaine Joyce, I'm on bended knee.
Brian, have you
I
need
look, Elaine, I can't get back
surgical removal of head?
No, I haven't made those arrangements yet.
I can't get back up,
no
Elaine,
rush, dude.
but please, I'm down on bended knee for Elaine. I'm going to need help getting up. But
so we got this side plot here with the old lady. Her neck's all fucked up from the orange.
That's the Joey Ross thing,
right.
too.
Joey Ross was trying to give her the which one? I only have one orange. Which chin? That was the joke.
That was the joke. Yeah, and that was. I had that. I know I had that in here somewhere.
You flipped 4 pages over. How many notes do you have for this episode?
You know I do at least 5 or 6 pages per episode.
Keep flipping. That was much further. Oh my god, you got.
It ended on they kiss. Oh wait, I did have a last page. Yeah, there it is. They kiss.
It's like the Diary of Anne Frank over here. Andy's keeping
Look,
me
these
against
will
my
be
will.
up for our highest Patreon
That's right. Your
levels,
notebooks.
you know. But I had here.
Logan, if you buy this, I'll sue you.
He cracked his back looking at her ass. He was looking at somebody's
right.
ass.
Who?
Joey Ross.
Joey Ross.
Oh,
that's how he hurt his back.
That's how he hurt his back.
And
right? That didn't happen yet.
he said,
Now it happens. In this
he
scene right
said,
here,
ever
with the
get
dance.
stepped on by an elephant wearing baseball spikes? That's how it was before it got worse.
That's in this scene here. This is this dance.
But that's it, and that'll be all we'll talk about with this episode.
Oh yeah, we're done. So yeah. So
But wait, I'll tell you about next week's.
I mean,
episode.
this episode was the worst yet because you had the old people with so Monty Hall's with his son, and he's actually snuck his girlfriend on the boat, and they like her, but he says it's someone else.
But then they break up.
and then they get back together. And then Leslie Nielsen is too old for his girlfriend, and she's dancing with another guy, and they get back together. And then what was the third one?
Before I tell you about next week's episode,
The third one.
let me tell you who's in Skate Town,
Dawn.
USA.
Oh yeah, and then she at the end goes to get her doctorate. She's going to become a doctor.
It's Skate Town, USA. The movie came out in 1979.
Wait, what's this have to do with Love Boat?
Because I brought it up before. Somebody was in this movie, Skate Town, USA, and you said you didn't know the movie. So I want to tell you who I was.
Leslie Nielsen,
I was going to look up the cast,
Adam Bricker.
but it's
Joey Ross.
it's about at a roller disco competition. 2 rivals find themselves becoming good friends while competing for a prize of $1,000 in cash.
Thousands of dollars. in cash.
$1,000.
Oh,
in
$1,000.
cash.
Oh.
And the cast here, we have Scott Baio, Flip Wilson, Ron Palillo, Maureen McCormick, Ruth Buzzy, Patrick Swayze,
Are you sure they just get the people as they're
Dave-
coming off the Love
Dave
Boat and they're just like
Mason,
go right over
David
here?
Landsberg, Murray Langston, the unknown comic,
Was he wearing a
Joe
bag on
E.
his
Ross.
head? Joey Ross too.
That's so funny. I was like, I couldn't remember if Joey Ross was in it, but Judy Landers, one of the Landers sisters.
Oh my god, this sounds dreadful.
But is it? It's 4.9 out of 10 stars.
Oh, that's like Rise of Skywalker level.
on.
I bet it's better than the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Don't underestimate that with Brian. You know how he feels about that.
Did you like that?
I didn't mind the holiday.
He said he would. It's rewatchable. He said.
It is not rewatchable.
Next week's episode is only one story: musical cabins.
Oh,
And
so now this is one we should talk about. This sounds interesting.
it's going to be
One episode for the whole hour.
That's all. That's
So
the
that's
only
good
story.
writing right there. That's
Do you want me to
good
read
writing.
what the story's about first?
No, I want to hear that.
Let's do that. Want to do that? I think
Don't spoil it for me. We haven't podcasted in 6 years.
This was a short one.
Oh,
so
okay,
I'll
that's
just read
short.
that.
That's good. All right.
It says a spunky gossip reporter, not going to say who it is aboard to write an expose of lust on the high seas. A shy man, not going to say who it is, has 1 week to marry or lose his inheritance. A woman, won't say her name, moves out of her chauvinist fiance, won't say his name's cabin. A suburban widow, won't say her name, impersonates a glamorous Hollywood socialite.
See, now that does not sound like one story. And
It sounds to me like
Now I wanna
musical
hear who the
cabins is going to be.
stars
they're all-
are.
I have a feeling that they might all intertwine. That's what I'm hoping
okay,
for.
but you usually give us the stars' names. I'd rather have that than the I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say her
We
name.
got Dick Gautier. He was another guy. A lot of 1 or 2 episodes in the 60s and 70s. Did a lot of voice acting for cartoons for like the 70s through like the 80s and 90s.
No idea who that is.
He's on a lot of game shows too, like Tattletales again. So Michelle Lee, we've seen her in an episode.
She was on an episode, yeah.
Barbara Rhodes, not sure who she is. Marsha Wallace, who's Edna Krabappel.
She is.
Paul Williams.
Paul Williams, like Cannonball Run.
Paul Williams.
Smoking the Bandit. Paul Williams.
Little Enos, right?
Little Enos.
Yeah. Paul Williams. Yep.
And singer of the Love Boat theme.
What about him? Jack Jones? No. Paul Williams wrote
it. Right.
Jack
right,
Jones is
the
singer.
Wrote it. Sorry.
Paul Williams wrote it. Yeah. So that's Musical Cabins.
Do you think he gets like credit for being on there and writing the song? Double dipping?
Well, when you see Paul Williams' name's always in the credits.
Wait a second. Little Enos wrote the Love Boat?
He's the one that wrote the lyrics.
Don't Bry. You didn't know that?
No.
Paul Williams?
I didn't know that was his name was Paul Williams.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh.
He also wrote Rainbow Connection.
Wow.
Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
The Lovers.
The Frog.
The Dreamer. The Frog.
Oh, there's a
Frog.
There's an episode of
He has a name.
There's an episode of Exciting and New. You want to read what that one's about? What Brian wrote?
What's this stand for?
This is our episode that's dropping tonight.
So we recorded this like a year and a half ago?
This was recorded a while ago. This is a 2-hour and 28-minute podcast.
We can't do that. We can't force people to listen to this shit for hours.
I can't wait to hear what's on this one, though. Do you want me to, I'm going to read what Brian wrote as our description for this one. It's episode 18, Idiot Nephews, Cop versus Robber, and a Whore Sister.
I'm really glad I don't have any idea what this was.
Now, those are definitely not the 3 names of the actual stories that we said.
I have no idea what this is.
So it says Jason and Andy try discussing the 18th episode of The Love Boat, season 1, episode 18, Last of the Steubings, $1 Million Man, The Sisters from What I Remember. Those are the names that we actually.
Okay, I remember the last of the Steubings now, but that's all I remember.
This episode has Captain Steubing's oaf of a nephew in it, a cop and a robber, and 2 sisters, where one is an absolute whore. Meanwhile, Andy tries on thong underwear for the first time.
I did. I don't remember that.
Jason vomits uncontrollably, and Brian contemplates the meaning of life and death. We can be found at Exciting and New on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Is that the same name for TikTok?
TikTok.
I'm Jesus74 at Twitter and Instagram. Andy is
AE Gonzo.
AE Gonzo on Instagram and Twitter.
Twitter.
Or something. And Brian is Papa Bad Kitty.
Bad Kitty.
This has been a fun one with a really bad episode.
This episode sucked. Don't watch this episode. Just listen to our podcast. I'll say that at the end of this, you'll be pissed. You'll be pissed that you watched this.
Join our Patreon.
Patreon.